The blame lays on one thing and one thing only.
Kody Brown opens up about his relationships with his former sister wives, Janelle, Christine, and Meri, and says there's no love lost between him and his exes because there wasn't any to begin with, at least on his part. Kody gets candid on the TLC series One-on-One special.
This experience required that I have more than one wife. And so I come into this, Meri and I get married, and I get married again to Janelle, and I get married again to Christine. And I look back, and because I was so anxious to be living the principle of plural marriage, that I was not vetting who I was marrying to be compatible with me. The blame lays on one thing and one thing only. If you're gonna marry, and you're gonna marry for eternity, you should start out in love. I thought it was acceptable. I thought I could make up the difference. I thought everything in this situation with all three wives, this isn't about being like in love. This is about growing a family together. We love each other. We're required. The gospel requires us to love each other. But I never really actually suffered in a fit of passion in this place.
How do you feel you started out with Robyn then? Was it different?
Yeah, it was.
Were you different?
Well, I fell in love with Robyn. I never fell in love with anybody else. I was just choosing to be in that covenant of love with them. I met Robyn, and there was a safety and a vulnerability that I had never experienced in my life. And I met her, and I started weeping for joy and didn't stop for months. I've spent 2 years watching and seeing Christine and Janelle talk about me without me. And they're just trash talking me. So I'm like going, I don't want to ask about anybody else because I don't want anybody talking about me. And what are they trash talking me about? They're trash talking me because I'm guilty. Actually, yes, I am, of not loving them. And I think that, no, I'm accusing them. They say, no, we're not doing that. But I think they're trash talking me because it makes, if I'm small, it makes them feel okay for how they treated me. Listen, I might not have been in love, but I was being loving and I was trying to love, okay? Sometimes I would feel in love, all right? So I was making all the effort. That the emotion wasn't always perfectly there, I don't think I'm accountable for that part of it.
As for Robyn, she says she had no idea she was the only one he had actual feelings for.
I did not know that until just recently.
Really?
I did not know that, and it still makes me wonder, because I wonder if it's just the rewriting of history, because there seems to be a lot of that.
When your husband is saying he wept for joy for months because he had found you.
But I don't think he was saying that to them. Does he say?
No, but that's just how he was feeling. Okay. So when a person is feeling that kind of inner joy,
yeah,
it's kind of hard just to suppress it and just be like, okay.
Well, I did my best. I don't know what else I was supposed to do, but I did my best to not have it be something that was painful for them.
Christine Brown also recalls the moment she realized Kody was truly in love with Robyn.
It broke my heart. That was one of my first moments of heartbreak, was that moment. And I was just sitting at the edge of my bed and watching him get ready to go on a date with her before they were married. And I was like, he's like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And I'm like, oh, like, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, you're in love with her. And he looked at me and he's like, because I said it out loud. I'm like, you're in love with her. He looked at me and he's like, I am in love with her. And they got really giddy. And I was like, oh God, it hurt. It hurts so bad. It's so bad. Because you realize at that point, everything now is going to change.
In the special, Meri and Janelle Brown give their POVs on the turning point in the plural marriage and how they began to realize Kody might not be able to give them the same attention that Robyn was now getting.
I think it's very unfortunate that the rest of the family had to go by the wayside to get that. I think that he has, in his life, had the capacity to love and care for multiple of us, right? Like, we've got a big family. I think he has the capacity, and for whatever reason, he's not doing it.
I was in love with the idea of him. We really did start to know each other better after we were married. I do think I loved him as much as I could. And we became much more in love as the years went by, I think. We did get married young, and I don't think that that's necessarily a problem because I've seen many couples that navigate that. But somewhere along the line, we failed to navigate that, I think. It was a very functional marriage. But now he's grown and changed, and I've grown and changed, and I think maybe he does have more affinity or more connection with Robyn, and that's okay. But I think it's unfair to judge our early years with that same perspective because he was not the guy back then he is now.
And as far as the trash-talking allegations go, Janelle and Christine recently spoke to E! News about where they think Kody is really coming from.
He seems to think that you guys are, trash talking him. Do you think that that's a fair assessment?
I think he's trying to find fault because he's not liking things that are happening in his life. So I think he's trying to find fault with other people. His relationship with his kids is his responsibility.
I do. I feel like that's the case.
And that's it. He needs to fix it.
Yeah. I feel bad that he feels like that, but it does feel like he's trying to find a reason.